The brutality by security agencies witnessed during the Kawempe North by-elections reached a new height as many of the victims are still nursing injuries over a month later. The matter came up as the Uganda Parliamentary Press Association commemorated the World Press Freedom Day slated for tomorrow. The tension experienced during that by-election has led to politicians, civil society activists, media practitioners to predict that the general election of 2026 is going to be tough for journalists.
Prepare this election of Muchungs who are saying the Independent Electoral Commission. The one that Mohoz Kainerugaba will superintend. Oh, the beach book. Thank you very much.
We could end up in a crisis. So we head for an election. And as we head to the election, there's going to be a lot of intimidation.
So when you have us having self-censorship, which in my view is one of the biggest threat to press freedom in this country, because of the fear of the unknown, what could happen if we put out this? There are people in this room even who are worried to call people out as journalists. We woke up to a disturbing tweet about Eddie Mutwe.
The leader of opposition in parliament, Joel Senyonyi, says democracy cannot exist in the dark, saying that now everyone in the country is under siege.
Journalists have time and again been the conscience of our nation. The reality is, the media in Uganda is under siege, and we must confront this uncomfortable truth. The Kawempe North by-election is a recent bothersome example.
We need to adopt the same approach, so that when they are battering one of you, there is somebody capturing who's battering, tracking him, and even his family. Then the agent of the state and the enemy of the state will be isolated.
However, the government Chief Whip Hamson Obua says the Bill of Rights in the Constitution continues to be observed and protected by the government.
These are the questions that we must pose to ourselves. But at least today, we are here gathered, celebrating a day, whether there is something to celebrate or there is nothing to celebrate, but we can assemble. But probably in the past, you could not have the latitude of even assembling, even coming together from your respective places to assemble.
Let's use whatever means which is there to survive, because we think the action of these people is about to bring the state down. And the state will say, we can't allow an action that brings the states down to cause problems for everybody than dealing with a few people to leave the rest to continue doing what they are doing. So journalists should also scan the environment.
Julius Muchunguzi, the Electoral Commission spokesperson, says everyone should be the peace ambassador for the general elections of 2026 in order to avert the happenings in the Kawempe North by-elections.
That we cannot envisage an electoral process that we can call free, fair, credible, transparent, without freedom of expression, including freedom of the press. Because it is the citizens that are going to have the freedom of expression to make the choices they have to make and choose the whoever is to lead them. That is freedom of expression.
First of all, as NAB, what we want to commit to is to do our part to ensure the journalists are protected. We made an attempt the last election. Somehow we registered some successes. We had a joint committee with the security forces, with the Electoral Commission, with the Minister of ICT. We registered some degree of success. Only towards the end, things deteriorated.
The poor pay for journalists also came up during the dialogue.
But media houses, let's get serious. Stop exploiting some of these young people. You send them to do a story, you've not given them transport. But the media houses, I don't know how many miles away, and you're sending them, whether it be to Parliament or wherever. What you want is a story. The fellow has no transport, has no lunch. They've not been paid for 3, 5, 6 months. And you expect a story. What's wrong with you?
A section of parliamentarians have pledged to deliver the dialogue resolutions to Parliament so as the media freedoms are protected. Tomorrow, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate the International Press Freedom Day held every 3rd of May. Juma Kiria, NTV.